Hey guys, welcome to Parentally Unprepared. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to cover, actually go back and cover something that we glazed over last week, the formula shortage. I felt like we did that at service, so we readdress the formula shortage. We talk a little bit about current events that are going on that are kind of sad, but I feel like needed to be addressed. You really wanted to address them as well, so we got to that. And then we talked a little bit about some fun stuff, what's been going on with us, what the baby's into, some things that you found online having to do with communicating with toddlers and communicating with little ones. So plenty
They'll
of things.
Keep you from pulling your hair out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Plenty of things to get into.
Disclaimer: we didn't test any of these methods yet.
We haven't tested any of these methods, but we like them. We like the idea of these methods. All right. So please enjoy this week's episode of Parentally Unprepared, and don't forget to rate, review, subscribe to our podcast. Bye.
You got no headphones anymore?
I got in-ears.
What? Where's my in-ears? Dude, you scared of mashing your hair?
I'm not scared of mashing my hair. I'm trying these out, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They look better.
You won't give the girl the hair saving option?
I mean, I could.
You make the worst captain of this ship ever.
Save
yourself.
I don't mean to. I am Jeremy.
I'm Krista.
And we are Parentally Unprepared.
Yay!
Actually going a little early this week. Well, I'm going to release normal time though, but
as you should,
because we're gonna be busy this weekend.
Woo!
Mad busy. Guys, welcome to the show. Please rate, review, subscribe. Also, if you want to get in touch with us, at @PUnpreparedPod on Twitter, and parentallyunprepared@gmail.com if you want to email us. I'd be remiss to not mention that terrible things have happened out in Texas involving children. And you know, we don't.
I'm nauseous.
Yeah, we don't consider this a place to really get political because it's a time capsule of our lives, but this is something that's going on during our lives, right?
No.
But yeah, there was a school shooting at an elementary school out in Texas. And a lot of kids that did not need to died. And it sucks. It sucks to think about. It sucks for any parent to even consider that, like going down the road, right? You send the normal things to send your kid off to school, and that's what everybody does, and that's what you're supposed to do. But things like this make you think twice, you know. And I've got a couple friends that are parents, and one of them has a child that did 100%. His first year of kindergarten was 100% remote, and they were starting to consider sending him back next year. And they're just kind of like, well, this doesn't make us feel comfortable.
No. I mean, you've seen me pull up Kevlar book bags and stuff like that. Like
the fact that Kevlar book bags for children has to be a thing is kind of crazy.
Well, yeah, I'm speechless. Like, I'm not speechless, but I'm gonna hold my tongue. Like, it's just awful. It's horrible.
It is.
It is unthinkable that this has happened yet again.
And I don't think it, you know, because we talked about it before coming down here and getting started, and it was kind of like, do we bring this up? Do we talk about it? How much do we talk about it? I mean, I don't think it's something we need to make it a whole episode about, but I feel like it's ungenuine or disingenuous, I should say. Ungenuine. It's disingenuous not to at least address it and say, hey, this happened. And it's kind of indicative of our times, right? You know, not only do you have this, but I mean, just like less than 2 weeks ago, you had the supermarket shooting in Buffalo.
Yeah, it was like 10 days ago.
And it's not normal. It isn't. No. It just isn't normal. And
it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. And I don't know what the fix is. I don't know if there is a fix. But it's definitely something that's not something one person can do. best thing you can do is wherever you happen to fall, and I don't think anyone falls under the "it's okay for kids to get killed" camp. But wherever you fall, you got to go and vote your side. It's hard to think about.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely something you have to think about if you're going to be raising a child now.
Research what you're voting too.
Yeah.
And after having a conversation today, please don't be an uneducated voter that's just going off of
hearsay,
what you've heard,
opinion pieces,
or even propaganda that you may not even realize is propaganda. Just like go look at voting records, go look at actual legislation proposed by people that are in office, please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
And see if it aligns with what you think your beliefs are. Because
absolutely,
I've talked to plenty of people that vote completely against what they tell me they believe in. So
yeah.
Based on voting records and legislation proposed by those people.
Right. So, I mean, we're not here to push an agenda at all, other than the fact that you should be informed, and you should vote informed. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's really rough to think about, to think about what happened today. But as I said before, it's something that we've got no choice but to think about now. Like whether you have kids or not.
Yeah.
You've got no choice but to think about this and think about the fact that there are people that just have no qualms about doing harm to other people, and they don't have, and whether they have the wherewithal of their mind about them or not, the fact that they are able to do it and do it easily is not a good thing.
Yeah. And I don't even think we addressed which shooting this was, so that could probably get lost in
it could
the
get
decades.
lost in the shuffle.
So this is the Uvalde, Texas shooting. There at this point in time were 18 children killed and 3 adults. And the shooter, a very Adam, what's his face from Sandy Hook? Who cares? Screw that guy.
Yeah.
In the same vein, killed his grandmother on the way out the door to go do this. So
yeah, I've got no interest in knowing anything about the dudes, any of these guys. I didn't have.
Let them die anonymously, please.
I mean, we both actually were in school whenever, the thing that kind of started. I mean, mass shootings have always been a thing, but the thing that is kind of bookmarked the front end of what we know as mass shootings was Columbine, and we were both in school at the time.
Yeah, before that it was post office shootings were the thing.
Or the University of Texas bell tower,
yeah,
all
was
that
the
stuff.
bell tower, yeah.
I mean,
but Columbine kicked off where they started going to high schools and eventually elementary schools.
Yeah. So it's hard. It's hard to think about. And I feel really terrible for the parents involved. And there's no amount of putting yourself in someone's shoes that can help you understand that. There's just not. All you can say is I'm sorry, and to all the thoughts and prayers, folks. I think that, yeah, sure, do that, but there's also got to be action. Like, that's not the only thing. There's not the only thing you can do. You have to be decisive and go and vote people in place that will help.
If you feel like there's nothing but a choice of the lesser of two evils, run yourself. Like, we need more people to run. Half of our ballot today was unopposed. Like,
yeah. A lot of our local election stuff today, there was no one opposing. Not that the people that are in place are bad people. I think that everyone.
But we've seen plenty of ballots where there were some bad people on them that were unopposed still. So if you are if you got a problem with the way things are run and you want to change, man, don't discount yourself. Don't discount your friends you think can make a difference, but encourage people to run for office.
Yeah. Whatever side you fall on.
Yeah.
Like, I think that it's one of those.
And the way I don't vote, I would love if more reasonable people were on that side too. Please run.
Yeah. Like, I think that there is a way to be whatever side you are without being a extremist.
Yeah.
Both sides suffer from that. And no one wins because it just turns into a dog and pony show.
It's the lining of the pockets popularity contest.
Yep.
Yay. Anyway.
But, sorry, we wanted to address that, and again, really, really sorry to the families that affects. In every shooting, but particularly this one. It's just so.
It's close to home again.
Cursed. I'll write it down.
Get you a notepad.
I don't have my pen. I'll have to do an actual notepad on my computer. But yeah. Anyway,
it's been an interesting afternoon.
It's been a time, that's for sure.
And we're sitting there watching the Judd Apatow Carlin like biopic that's on
the
HBO
documentary about
and just listening to everything that man had to say, you're just like, ooh, the world lost a good one. Like,
yeah, well, and just listening to how much of that is still relevant, right?
Yeah. Oh,
and how much of that still doesn't change. Maybe the faces involved, the characters involved change a little bit, but all the sentiment, all the messed up parts of it are still very much there.
Nothing changes.
It's not messed up.
What
is the amount of, well, I guess it is kind of messed up, the amount of teeth that are growing into our child's head.
Oh my gosh. She's a shark. She is a shark.
She is.
She has 4 rows of teeth, all one right after the other, just in case she loses one while she's taking a big chunk out of my arm. She can just replace it with one from the back rows.
Yeah. We were very surprised over the weekend after we recorded.
232 teeth in that baby's head.
1 million teeth. And they're all baby teeth. But yeah, we were very surprised to see that. And
she's got molars coming in.
She does, back molars, which is, I feel like that should be odd.
It is. Like, that's not, they don't get them until they're 2 normally.
Right. When I talked to the dentist last time I went, my dentist doesn't see kids until they turn 3 because just communication mostly, like being able to talk to them, right? And be like, what hurts? Can you just open your mouth for me so I can look?
That'd be great.
Right now you can't exactly reason with a 13-month-old, but you made an appointment with an actual pediatric dentist.
Almost didn't.
And how did that go?
Almost didn't.
Yeah. Oof.
That girl at the front office, man, it was a Monday. It wasn't even 9 a.m. yet. And she was already being snarky.
Do you
and
feel
I was like,
you caught somebody?
Girl, you need to go get some coffee.
Right.
Calm the hell down.
Did you feel like you caught somebody that hadn't quite had their coffee yet?
I think I caught somebody that was an idiot. I don't know. She was just rude as hell. Like, just I've worked in customer service too long. Like, there's no need for that. There's no need for that ever, but especially not at 9 a.m. on a Monday. You just got started. Buckle in. Like, right. What are you doing?
I'm not the last question you're getting for the day.
Yeah. Anyway, they wanted, basically what started all this whole conversation went semi-pleasant. She interrupted me a couple times, but I was like, all right, they're in a hurry. It's a doctor's office. It's Monday morning. Mm-hmm. Calls are coming in, which might have explained why she was short with me. But, yeah, she wanted our insurance card information, which you had. I didn't. And I was like, but she'd already made the appointment for me. But she was telling me she couldn't finalize the appointment without our insurance card information. So I was like, well, what if we didn't have insurance? Can I not make an appointment? She said, but you do have insurance. You just told me you did. And I was like, yeah, but you just told me this appointment's available. You have all my information. I can't just bring in my insurance card like every other damn doctor's office or dentist office I've ever been to.
You didn't say damn, though.
No, I didn't. I did not. But I was just baffled that she was already getting, like, the second I was just like, well, what if I didn't have insurance? Like, why wouldn't you take my appointment? You've set everything else up for the appointment already. This is the last thing you're asking me, and now I can't have an appointment. So it's just weird. And she's just like, Mom, that's how we do things here. And I was just like, all right, thanks, bye. Because I knew I was about to be really ugly to her.
Do you feel like, and I'm not defending anyone.
Yes, you are. You're about to.
Do you think that she took what you said as rude?
What did I say?
I mean, like by being like, well, so if I didn't have insurance, would I not be able to make an appointment? Like,
I feel like that's a valid question because a lot of people don't have freaking dental insurance.
It is a good question because I was kind of like, do you just not take money? Like,
yeah.
Do you not take straight up money?
Yeah. A lot of people don't have dental insurance. A lot of babies definitely don't. Like, what are you going to do? You went through my whole question is like, we went through the whole, here's your appointment slot. Here, like, we're going to get you down. Here's a kid's name, date of birth, my date of birth, all this other stuff, phone number to reach us at, all that. And now I am telling you, I have insurance. You're not going to charge my insurance in this moment until we get to this appointment date. Why can't I finalize my appointment without that insurance card info?
Maybe.
Hell, I could email it to you at a later time if you just... We live in a very technological society that's all integrated. I can literally take a picture of that card once I put my hands on it with my cell phone and email it directly to your office in 5 minutes. And you don't have to be a rude person to me.
I mean, maybe they don't, I don't know. Maybe they're all paperless. So there's like, we get everything in the system. So that when you get
here... Do you know what else is paperless?
What?
My emailed photo of my insurance card.
I don't know. I mean, look, before, like, we haven't been there, so it could just be a terribly managed office because you know how offices can be run by a separate entity than the actual dentist.
That's what I'm wondering. I did call back with the insurance card. Thank you very much.
Got someone different, right?
And I got somebody different, and she was much freaking sweeter. Like...
Especially when we're like, let me ask you something.
Well, she tried to give me a different date that was like a month later. And I was like, all right, well, I'm about to make her mad too. And I was like, well, she just told me this date was open. And the girl didn't even know that their office was open that day. So I think it's a horribly managed front office. She was much nicer. So I was like willing to like work with her on it, obviously. But you know, we got the same appointment time the first person I talked to was going to give me. Just didn't have to be so damn rude about it.
It's wild.
It ruined my morning.
Yeah. You did say that when I got home that evening. You were like, she was close to ruining my whole day.
She only got the first half.
She only got the first half. Before we get in
if my father were here, he would tell me, don't let anybody steal your happiness. What is it he said?
Steal your joy.
Steal my joy. Yeah.
Don't let them steal your joy. Honey.
Don't let them steal your joy.
Don't do it.
What is this a directional mic? Sorry.
Yeah, you need to be talking into this portion.
Okay, well that's not gonna work. See, I gotta do this. And there's
so you can talk across the top of it though. Yeah, just tilt it towards you a little bit. There you go.
Okay.
And you're there. Before we get any further, we almost did it again. The question.
I already know
What
it.
is the question?
Well, I didn't want to put the question so close to our very serious conversation at the front. Anyway, the question is, how does baby soothe herself?
Food.
She rubs hands now too.
She does.
She does like fingertip rubbing. Hold on, I'm gonna put it on camera. She does this.
Yeah, lightly rubbing fingertips on palms.
And she likes you to do it to her palms too. And my mom was here this weekend. She said I did that when I was a baby.
Oh, let's not also discount the fact that she does like to eat.
Well, yeah, of course.
She loves to soothe herself with food.
Well,
she does.
We're teaching her great eating habits.
Well, and also there's the fact that she likes to eat with or not eat, but she likes the what is it? The keys, the little gel keys that we put in the freezer.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't consider that. I mean, that's soothing, obviously, to her teeth, but like, I was just thinking of general, like calming down and soothing.
Yeah, she likes to do that. She did the thing that you talked about tonight. She grabbed my face. She cupped my face with her two hands.
Oh, I love it.
When you put your when you put your palms together under your chin, kind of thing. She did that, kind of like you grab someone and be like, "Oh, I got something. I got something to tell you."
She grabbed me the other day by my whole face, and she like kisses you with her pacifier in. She kisses you. It's the cutest thing in the whole world.
She keeps offering me her pacifier, and unlike you, I do not take it.
Don't take it. I don't take it anymore.
It's just
she grazed my lips with it last night, and I felt sick today. I was like, bleh.
Yeah.
No.
She holds it out to you, and it's
nothing but daycare germs on that.
It's just dripping like it's got a Ghostbuster ooze on it, and like, buddy.
Well, and I
just turned my head away tonight. I was just kind of like,
I'm asleep. I'm asleep. I don't want it. Thank you. Yeah, like I started taking her pacifier and putting it in my mouth because our damn book, or maybe it was What to Expect or something, was just like, that's like the mom like germ cure all, and you can like build their immune systems and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, her immune system's fine now. She's killing mine at this point. Yeah. Like
at some point those tables turn, right? They just all of a sudden now you're just bringing me down.
Yes,
and I'm no longer making you stronger.
I have to keep you healthy while you're sick. So one of us has got to be okay.
I think last week's sickness.
That was a week before
weekend
last.
Weekend before last sickness has told me, you don't need to put anything in your mouth after that, kid.
No,
don't
do it.
Not one bit.
No, we're gonna end up with hand, foot, and mouth if we don't be careful. God. Yeah, it's we're at the separation of dishes and no double dipping stage of daycare right now. Like, she gets her own sauce.
You got a picture from the teacher today. Of the baby walking around the room.
Oh, she's strutting.
She's just strutting around the room.
She's up to running now. Like, she tried to run so she was taking double-digit amounts of steps this weekend after like 5 the last time we recorded.
Yeah.
So she got like to 14, 18 steps this weekend. And she grabbed my hand one time and just took off. Like the confidence that came with just that one stabilizing finger I gave her, she was literally running.
She just leans forward and just holds on to that.
She even kept my hand like straight over her head. She wasn't even like all belly leaning forward. She was just straight up running. She just wanted the like reassurance. What's the thing? Oh, it's Dumbo's feather, basically. Yeah. She's like, I can fly.
Yeah. She's like, I'm good. I'm good to go.
Yeah, I got this. She just, Whew, we're in trouble.
And she's understanding so much too, because like she was toddling this weekend, and I walked up beside her. I was like, "You want me to hold your hand?" And she just didn't even look at me. She just shot her hand up.
Oh yeah,
shot her hand straight up, and just like, I was like, "All right, let's go."
Yeah, you got it. I can't sit still. I hate having this here.
Right, you fidgeting?
I'm just fidgety. I keep looking at myself, and I'm like, "Oh, that looks like." Thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate
I thought you wanted to see yourself. Sorry.
I mean, I do to a point, but then I'm like, I just keep looking and worrying about it.
No big deal.
Nah, yeah, keep that away from me. I'll watch the baby.
What was it that the teacher said when she sent you that picture?
I don't know, something about.
Oh, she's walking everywhere, right?
Yeah, she's
walking everywhere.
And the other teacher said that to me when I picked her up today.
And I just said back to you, everywhere. I was like. At least it wasn't. She's biting everyone.
Yeah, where we get 3 bites in the week before that.
Yeah. She was a little hungry, I guess.
She tried to bite me this weekend.
Oh yeah.
My mother got on to me. She said I lost my temper.
Yeah.
So we had these,
whoa, hey, kind of like that.
No, I went, you will not bite me.
You will not bite me.
But. Yeah, like we have these little water markers that my mom gave her with a water mat that basically if you draw on it with water, it exposes like a rainbow underneath it, blah, blah, blah. And she likes to do it, but more than anything, she likes to suck on the markers. And now that she's running, they're long projectiles that can get shoved down her throat if she falls because she's not stable yet. So she took off with one and I grabbed her and was just like, here, let mommy have that. And she did not like it. And the second I reached for it, she went, ah. And she grazed my hand, but I saw it coming, so I was already like mid-yell by the time her teeth connected with my skin.
Oh, no.
And I know you're not supposed to yell at them, but it was real instinctual. And anyway, so I was just like, you will not bite me, young lady, and something like that. And my mother was just like, you lost your temper. And I'm like, how many belts went across my ass as a child? I am so sorry. I need to reassess who was telling me I lost my temper here. Just everybody regroup. Not a finger was laid on the child.
Yeah.
I told her not to bite me in a stern tone. So yeah. Anyway, so that was the big thing this weekend was I almost got bit.
Yeah.
That baby, if she ever goes zombie on us, man, I'm in trouble.
She's
quick.
She's got the chompers to do it too.
She's so quick.
She's very fast.
Like she just
the throwing of the cup. She likes to throw her cup. Like we're slowly getting across where she can just set her cup. You can just set your cup down on the high chair platform. You can just set it there. There's even a cup holder.
Yeah.
And she'll do it. But you have to, every time she takes a sip, you have to like reach up and be like, put it back here.
Oh, I mean, and I think that'll get better. But
that will get better. But like she is really, what I'm getting to is she is fast about throwing it.
Oh,
like you'll even be waiting and ready. You'll have your hands up on both sides, and she'll just go.
Two people. You can have a 2-man defense.
Dude, she will look one way and throw it the other. She'll fake you out. Like she'll do the old basketball like.
She will look the one person on her left in the eye and wait, and she'll corner eye watch the person on her right and wait till they like go to correct the dogs or talk to someone else in the room, and that's when she throws it to the right while she's like mid eye contact with you and being like, she's not looking.
She waits for your little bit your hair of relaxation.
Oh yeah,
and she's just like, boom,
bye. Now go get it. That's what she wants. She's just like, now go get it.
So the move becomes, all right, well, that's where it stays.
Yeah.
Until she really needs water.
And then she fake coughs on everything.
Yeah.
She fake chokes herself. She's like, I need water.
And she
now
starts
go
doing
get
the
it for
sign
me.
for water. She's like, I need water.
She knows how to get us so bad. Today we went on a walk, and the whole time, the entire walk, more. I want more. I want more.
Yeah, little star puffs.
She had food in her mouth going more. Yeah. I was like absolutely in the process of giving her fruits and veggie pouch, and she's just like more.
I think part of that came from Sugar Rush.
Don't you dare blame me in our fun family outing.
Someone got excited. I'm just going to say. Someone got excited.
There was a shaved ice truck there.
About Kona shaved ice showing up as we were getting ready to start our healthy walk.
Listen, it's not my fault that you guys didn't bike this morning.
Our healthy walk. She waved at the Kona ice guy as he was pulling in. She was just like,
I gleefully waved.
Oh, you did? You were like, hey, like she knew him. Like she knew this guy. And I was like, did you just wave at the Kona ice guy? You were like the old people at the retail store that are there like 30 minutes before open and you're standing outside.
I would have been had I known he was coming. You for a second wondered if I called him.
I thought you might have. I was like, did you tell him to come down to this park where there's lots of kids practicing and playing soccer? So the guy's going to rake in cash as soon as these games are over with.
But I gave him mine first.
Yeah, you did. Like she wasn't even willing to wait for the credit card machine to boot up. She's like, "Is it going yet?" And he's like, "No." She's like, "I got cash."
Listen, that was because the baby's on a timer.
I got cash.
She
wants to blame it on the baby. That's fine. She just wanted to get that.
I'm pretty sure that
ice.
Baby got home 45 minutes after bath time started.
Either way.
So already.
Either way.
Anyway.
You were so excited to see that. I was like, oh look, the Kona ice, and you're like, whoo! Woo!
Listen, the kid was excited too.
Yeah, of course.
I'm programming her. Be like,
she did enjoy the truck. The truck had flashing lights. The truck had little penguins,
toucans.
Jungle animals, toucans. It was playing island versions of songs you knew.
Yeah.
Right? Island versions of like pop country and stuff like that from when we were kids.
There's island versions of like songs that came out this year on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was Billie Jean was playing at one point. There was just all kinds of crazy.
It was fun.
Craziness going on at the park. I like that park a lot though.
I do too. That was a good track.
It might be my favorite park. It's a little far away compared to some of the other parks we go to, but if you can find a good walk-in park, man, you are good to go. I really want to go like earlier in the day, like like earlier on like a Saturday, like right after she wakes up
I
from a
think
nap,
that those,
so we can go out there for a good couple hours. you
yeah,
know?
I think those parks are going to have to be our weekend parks because it's a 40-minute round trip.
Yeah.
So
No, absolutely. Yeah, it would have to be weekend parks. You couldn't really do that every day after work. That's a lot. It's a lot because I mean it takes you 20 minutes to get there. Like you said, we got in 45 minutes past bath time. Luckily, we didn't have the time bomb we normally have.
Yeah,
So,
she did pretty good.
She did all
she
right.
was unhappy on the car ride home, but I tried. I sang a lot to her, and she wasn't losing it. Thankfully, she was just protesting a lot. And then she was great after that. Like she did great. Like diaper change, bath time, getting ready, drinking her milk, brushed her teeth. Like it went well.
Something else we've noticed over the past week or so is she's really, really gotten into wanting to wear your clothes.
She really has. It's so cute. Oh, it's so cute. We got some good pictures of it too. I keep turning away. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, we got some good pictures of it, and they were really stinking adorable. I'll just take off like whatever overshirt or whatever I'm wearing, and she just went through the laundry the other day too, and just was like, "This one, I want to wear it.
I want to wear this one."
Yeah.
And then your mom was getting tickled by because you were actually doing a little bit of spring cleaning. You were going through your closet, just finding stuff that you didn't want anymore, finding stuff that you were never going to wear again, finding all kinds of like shoes that you're like, I'm not going to be in these again.
No. And many that were just like, ooh, those need to go in the trash.
And little one got up from her nap and she was like looking at all the clothes you had out and folded and laid around. She's like, I want to put this on, and it just happened to be the shirt you had been wearing earlier.
Yeah.
She was like, this is great. So I put it on her and I rolled the sleeves all the way up so, it didn't completely swallow her up. And she just kind of wandered around with, adult size shirt on.
So cute. She looks like a little hobbit when she wears my clothes.
It's hilarious.
It's amazing.
It's really good.
And she keeps trying to put shoes on too. Have you noticed that? Like both of our shoes. She walks up and she's like, ooh.
Starts putting her feet in. Yeah.
Yeah.
She, the other thing, what do? We got this week, we realized now that she's standing regularly and now that she's growing noticeably, we went ahead and got a growth chart.
Yeah.
We were going to get something that clings to the wall, but we decided maybe something that we could move if we needed to move, and something that you can conserve. Because if you get like something that's like a vinyl sticker that goes on a wall, there's no way you're saving that. Right?
Or the big wood 6-foot plank. Like, who's going to be able to store that for the rest of however long they want to keep it? This can go in a shoebox.
Like, so we got one that's kind of like almost like a scroll.
Yeah.
And it's got the rope to hang, like the little string to hang it from at the top, and it just rolls out, and it's got what's on there?
Giraffe, elephant, monkey, lion.
Really fits the aesthetic of her room. Jungle animals a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it fits
jungle and safari animals.
Yeah, it fits like the animals that she likes for sure. Too.
Yeah,
and it's colorful. She the second she saw it, she was like, ooh.
And you're not writing on a wall. You're not writing in a doorway, which I still think that's super cute. I like when I go to a house and there's like the little hash marks from where a kid grew up in the doorway, and the dates. But it's got space for you to write, their age or at least the date and how tall they are at the time. I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that was a cool. They got some really, really cool ones online, and this one was only $10.
Yeah, it was.
Like honestly, I think I'll actually link it. I should have brought it down here to show it on the camera. But I'll link it. I'll link it in the description of the video for sure, and probably in the description of the podcast if you guys want to check it out.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And
cool.
Get one for yourself because they're pretty affordable, but there are very expensive ones out there too. So I was like maybe we shoot for the middle, and I was like, no, just get this one.
Yeah,
it's perfect. It's like almost like a vinyl.
Yeah.
So you can't tear it easily. So it's not paper. But I do like that it's got the wood block to kind of pull it taut at the bottom. Like
we saw that some of the expensive ones had like a nice wooden screw top, like as a peg to hang it on.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing ours is lacking, and it was $25 less. So.
Yeah, I'm sure we could get something that would look better than a tack or better than a thing. Like they've got the little,
You can just go to Lowe's and get like a cabinet knob.
Yeah, you can get a cabinet knob, or
$3.
they make the like nice looking little push pins. You can get
there's
like
those
a wood grain push pin or something like
I
that.
forgot about those. Another thing she did at daycare this week was she started responding to everybody's names, like with being able to point out who that was. All of her classmates. I picked her up Friday. Yeah, Friday. And they said that she went around the room and they said, where is Bob? And she was like, there.
That's Bob.
That's Bob. And she get it right. And they said she got 7 out of 8 kids.
She also turned to her teacher and was like, I go to daycare with a kid named Bob.
Yeah.
Who does that in 2022?
Plenty of people.
I'm just kidding.
There's got to be a guy named Robert out there.
I'm sure they are. I'm just wondering how early is a Robert called Bob? Like, what age is the first time a Robert is called Bob
on average? What about
baby
Bob too? Like a baby named Bob.
A BB.
No, just a baby named Bob. Like, look at that baby.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna go around calling him Baby Bob.
Like,
what up, Baby Bob?
I think of that with like babies named Greg. Baby's named Tom. Like Baby Tom. Like,
dude, I would absolutely, if I had a kid named Robert, which
you have a brother named
I have
Robert.
a brother named Robert. I should call him Baby Bob.
Yeah.
Little Bob.
No, Baby Bob's way better.
Toddling Bob when they get to be a toddler. Look at running Bob over there. Everything, just every verb they've got going on, just attack Bob on the end of it.
Oh my God.
Fishing Bob's out there.
Fishing Bob.
Trying to catch him something.
Oh my gosh. My mother asked me.
Bathing Bob every night.
Mom asked me 27 questions about your fishing habits for some reason this weekend.
My fishing habits?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, why are you asking me so many questions about fishing?
I haven't fished.
She said I might want to fish. I was like, then ask somebody that fishes. I don't know.
I want to fish.
I do too.
I don't think I've fished since the year I finished up college.
Yeah, I don't think you have either.
That sucks.
You probably go fishing this summer.
I want to go fishing. But because we're going to the beach, is that what you mean? I like that okay, but I'm way more partial to pond/lake fishing.
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel like that's more conducive to wrap it around to the parent side of things. I feel like that's more conducive to teaching someone to fish as well.
Yeah.
There's less chaos.
It's slow pace.
It's slow pace.
Beach fishing's not bad.
Beach fishing's okay, but you also have way more people around.
That's true.
Yeah, and you're like, well, there's people swimming over there. I don't want to throw it over there. Like you have to have like right conditions, but I feel like a good fishing pond is like some of my best memories as a kid were fishing at this pond that like my stepdad knew these people and they had the best piece of property and the best fishing pond. I caught my first fish out of there. I caught several fish afterwards and it was just awesome. Like it was one of those places. It was like almost you had to be having a really bad fishing day to come away not catching something, which is great. It's like perfect for like kids because there's always something going on.
Yeah, I have good memories of fishing with my dad's dad.
Yeah,
like on a lake in our hometown. So I did not like getting the hooks out though.
Yeah, it's kind of tough, right?
I was always scared I was gonna get finned by a catfish.
Catfish or fat fish. Catfish always terrified me because I thought I was going to get finned.
Yeah.
I was like, nope. I'll just I would just literally grab him like a bass in the mouth. I'm just going to grab him in the mouth.
Oh.
Not worry about it.
Oh.
I just didn't. I never mastered. Like my stepdad's brother was always catfishing. I would walk around the pond bass fishing, and he was always just sitting there catfishing. And he'd catch these catfish, and they'd be like wriggling everywhere, and he'd just be like. He'd do the old move with 2 fingers slide up the side of the body and he'd just like unhook them, throw them back. I was like, how do you do that so comfortably? I'd be terrified.
Done it a million times, I bet.
I will tell you this much. I have definitely, on more than one occasion, just let the catfish lay on the ground and I would grab the hook with a pair of needle nose pliers and I just hold him over the water and shake him until the hook came out.
Oh my God.
So he went back in. I just didn't want to, dude. I got finned a couple times and it did not feel good to a young lad.
I bet.
But I can't wait to teach the kid fishing.
I would love that. I want to go. I've been asking you to teach me fishing for years, so now we got a good excuse.
I want to go camping. I want to go fishing. I want to go hiking. I want to do all of that.
I want to go camping so bad.
When's the last time you went camping?
Bonnaroo.
Proper camping, not hippie music festival camping.
Shoot, man, I don't even know if I've been proper camping technically.
Even if it's a little like not quite glamping, that in between where it's like where it's a campground that's already pre-laid out.
Yeah,
and they've got like showers and a bathroom, but they're not like, they're public showers and bathroom, but like you actually just set up a tent in the little spot.
I have done that. Honestly, I can't even remember what age I was. Like it's a vague memory. I want to say I was probably under 13.
Yeah. Well, we've got family with property on the lake. I keep forgetting about that.
Mm-hmm.
A family with property on the lake, and like you just do the whole set up a tent right there in the yard, whatever part of the yard faces the lake, and that's like the dipping the toe in, like introduction to camping. If for some reason it goes terribly, the house is right there.
Yeah, I love camping without bears. That's my favorite kind of camping. When there's no bears, no mountain lions, I love that kind of camping.
I will agree with you there. No bear camping is pretty optimal.
Yeah.
It's underrated, I should say.
And like where we live, you don't think of it as bear country. And then bears pop up every once in a while and you're like, oh crap, there's bears here. I forget.
Well, thankfully we don't have the most aggressive bears. They're usually little scaredy cats, but they're still bears.
They're little scaredy black bears. But yeah, like I don't feel like dealing with that. I don't want a little cub wandering into my damn campground and mom getting mad thinking I tried something with her baby. Like, no.
What are you doing with my kid?
Yeah, exactly.
Your kid came over here.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. It was cute. I'm so sorry. No.
I just gave him a little scritch right under the chin.
I just fed him a PB&J. No, I want no like
my kid's a diabetic. Just pissed. There's a pissed mama bear.
Celiac. Yeah. So the northern parts of our state where there's mountains and stuff, there's lots of bears, like just digging in trash cans. But then you think once you go further south to where we got like swamps and stuff, you wouldn't find as many bears. No, we have swamp bears too.
We also have dinosaurs down there.
Yeah, we got a lot of dinosaurs.
There's dinosaurs in the swamp.
We got dinosaurs here, and turtles are dinosaurs.
I just mean dinosaurs that will actually
take
you away.
Yeah.
They will sweep you off your feet.
Yeah, it makes me
in the beautiful Florida Everglades.
Makes me reconsider Disney World.
Doesn't make me reconsider Disney World. Just makes me not leave the theme park. I'll just stay in the theme park, which can be just as dangerous, but at least it's not a dinosaur dragging you under the water.
God.
Dragging you under the water.
My mom asked me if I reconsidered scuba diving now that we've had a baby. Speaking of being dragged under the water.
How do you feel about scuba diving now that we've got a kid?
I am not going below 60 feet for a long time.
Yeah.
Until I get more comfortable with her.
How do you feel about the kid scuba diving?
Eventually, I'll be all right with that. But again, not going.
What age do they start certifying kids? I forget. Like, there's a kid.
I think you got to be like 13 or 14, don't you?
I feel like it's 10.
No, she can't get certified at 10. I was an idiot at 10.
Yeah?
No way. No
what
way.
if she's just so much smarter than us? And she's kind of like, guys, did you know that your oxygen levels
10-year-old. The smartest 10-year-old does not understand mortality.
She breaks out the, the little chart and everything. She's like, guys, I'm fine to go in. Let's go.
The smartest 10-year-old does not have the wisdom to understand the finality of your life ending. No. They can be sad about people passing for certain, but they don't understand.
I was terrified of dying at 10. I cried.
Great.
We've talked about this. I cried because I was getting older when I turned 10.
Okay. You cried. Did you get paralyzed with existential dread?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I did.
Good. Maybe we will have a smart 10-year-old then.
What's up? Family friend just goes up and he's like, oh man, double digits. You're not a kid anymore. And I was just like, ah!
I'm going to die one day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, this is
I'm going to die. I literally, my mom was like, what's wrong? I was like, I'm going to die one day. And she goes, you can't be thinking about that.
Oh.
I hope I don't pass that on to my kid. That's a rough one.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
That's a rough one to pass on.
I don't know. You weren't out doing dumb stuff for your teenage years because you were aware you could die.
Well,
Maybe. I don't know.
I want the line to be as I want the line to be enough to where you don't do really stupid stuff, but not so much that you hold yourself back from doing something that you could really love.
Yeah, don't
right?
hold yourself hostage for fear of
Right.
things. Yeah. I always like in the back of my head was like, if something happened to me, my mom would be so sad. Like, so that was a good motivator. I was like, oh, I can't do that. My mom, what am I going to do with my mom?
Mine was more so, my mom will be so mad if I do this.
No,
or
mine
if she
was,
finds out I do this.
well, yeah, no, mine, I'm thinking about like if I got truly hurt, killed, that was like, I'm not saying like I'm going to sneak out.
Yeah.
But even then, I'd be like, ooh, what if I got kidnapped while I was sneaking out and then I got killed? Then it would make my mom really sad. Like,
I always think about that like in terms of, maybe you have, I guess I thought about it more so when I was in school, or maybe it was when I was like in high school, but you go like just to go do something, right? And you're like, oh man, I cut class today or something like that. And you go do something like, if I rear end somebody right now, I'm super screwed.
dude, that's the kind of stuff I
screwed.
always landed myself in. Anytime I like kind of skirted the rules a little bit, the stars aligned to catch me with like the worst possible luck every time. It was why I was like, I never did anything, because the 2.5 times I tried something, I got caught like red-handed in a situation that was so unlikely that it would never happen again in any of the multiverses ever to any of the other versions of Krista.
You would go out to try to do that again. Like you'd be like, I'm going to go out and purposely run into my stepmom, and you probably couldn't find her.
Yeah.
But the moment you're like, I hope I don't run into a stepmom, they're going to walk around the corner and run right into you.
Yeah, I mean, not only did it happen when I was a teenager, but it happened well into my 20s. I ran into my dad drunk in New Orleans one time. I didn't even know he was in the state of Louisiana. Like, I was just like, how? How did this happen? And it was fine because thankfully I was over 21, but and they were drunk too, and everybody just wanted to go back to what they were doing apart. But I was just like
we need to get out of here before there's a fight.
Yeah,
get out of here before there's a fight.
We're in a dueling piano bar of all places.
Yeah.
And I just turned around, like, hey,
good to see you guys.
Oh.
Just so everything stays nice and amicable, I'm gonna make my exit.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so that's the kind of Truman show kind of stuff that would happen when I would try to skirt the rules of any sort.
Mm.
I hope she has that kind of luck.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, I want her to be smart enough, and I think any parent wants this, smart enough to stay out of really dangerous situations, but brave enough to try some things. Like, I mean, I don't ever see my mom being like, I want to scuba dive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just that thing where
my mom looks at me like I'm crazy that we scuba dive.
There was a point in time where I would have looked at me like, why are you scuba diving? But, I met some people that were into scuba diving, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going to try this out. And I ended up loving it. But yeah, it's it's that whole, I don't want to shelter them, but I don't want to just leave them unattended, right? There's such a fine line, and we've talked about it, like not being a helicopter parent and stuff like that.
There's a few of them where I'm like, I really don't want you to do that. But
what in particular?
Horseback riding.
Horseback riding?
Yeah. I just really don't want to pay for it. But it's also real dangerous.
It's expensive. Scuba diving is expensive.
Yeah, scuba diving is really expensive.
Very expensive. But there's a lot of expensive hobbies. Like, I want you can be whatever you want to be. Just don't make it cost a mortgage a month, please. Can we not?
Oh, we don't have a shot at that. Man, I gotta stop coughing. You got any cough drops around here?
You would think that I would. We can pause and
I'm gonna need to. I'm not gonna stop coughing otherwise.
Let's pause. We'll BRB. You get. Hey, where's my? Hey, I didn't hook my headphones back up.
I see them in your hand.
One moment. You good?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna stop coughing. Sorry.
You're not sick, are you?
No, I got I had that laughing fit earlier, and for some reason it just triggered coughing.
Maybe got a little saliva caught in the windpipe or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, dangerous stuff, right? Like, so I guess we'll see. I mean, what she gravitates to. I'm not going to hold her back, but I'm also not going to let her do something super dumb.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I would like to think I wouldn't.
I think things like gymnastics are going to be scary, or, you know.
That's where that good money for a good instructor goes into play, right?
Yeah. And I don't know. I think of other things I played that were kind of injury prone, like basketball and stuff like that. Like
track and field.
Track
any
and field.
sport.
Track and field's not as contact oriented as basketball. I got my worst injury in track, granted, but I got injured way more often in basketball. So
soccer's pretty.
Soccer's. I never played, but yeah, our boys soccer players at my school. So I was a sports med trainer, like a high school student trainer, and our boys came in with concussions every week for the soccer team. Like there was one kid in my high school, by the time he graduated, he'd had 7 concussions.
And soccer is so widely played too. We were at that park today, and there were so many kids playing soccer. It was a ton of kids playing soccer.
The girls that played didn't get those kind of severe injuries nearly as bad on our soccer team, at least. I don't know if that's something that's unique to that school or what, but the boys, man,
Boys played hard.
Boys played hard. Like one kid had a patella avulsion fracture where it's like, yeah, you don't even want to hear what it is. It is as bad as it sounds. And our football players had equally as horrific injuries. So it was just, yeah. Anyway, contact sports produce some crazy stuff.
You ever find yourself wondering like what our kids going to be squeamish about and what they're like?
No, I hadn't even thought about that yet.
You ever notice like some people are squeamish about blood and some people are just like, whatever.
My dad's squeamish about blood.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah. When I what did I do?
Compound fracture, right?
Yeah, it was when I broke my arm and part of it was poking out and yeah, they reset my arm and I was 10, 11. And my dad almost fainted.
I don't want to be fainting, Dad, but I might be fainting.
You might be. I mean, I don't think there's anything like to be ashamed about that. But like, yeah, when the bone snapped into place, he turned as white as that sheet of paper right there.
Well, my eyes just went like,
yeah.
Just thinking about it.
Imagine being the 10-year-old sitting there with 5 nurses and a doctor holding you down, and that happened.
A joke.
Yeah, my dad. I think we talked about it in the podcast when I was pregnant. My brother got hurt, and my dad was like the ghost of parenting future. Like,
that was when he messed up his shoulder, right? Like,
yeah,
separated his shoulder or something like that.
And he was like, "This one day you're gonna see your baby in pain, and just it's gonna break your heart." And I was just like,
"Can you not?
Bummer, man.
Can you not, please?"
Like that might be the truest statement ever, but damn, I don't want to hear it.
I was listening to Bill Burr's podcast this week, and he was talking about people giving bad advice, like, because he was talking about his kids, and he's like, you always got the people who are the bummer though. You always got the people that are like, oh yeah, good kid, you got a good kid. Wait till they're my age.
Oh my
blah
God.
blah blah blah. Wait, just you wait. That whole thing. And he's like, you ever consider that maybe you're just bad at it?
Oh my God, I want to ask that, but it's rude, isn't it?
You ever consider that you're just bad at it?
It's so rude to ask that though, but I want to ask it every time somebody does that to us. God, I had a friend that is having a boy and she's elated and she was like, yeah, and at least this way, since I won't be having a girl, she won't hate me when she's a teenager. And I'm like, hello, I have a girl. Did you think about that before you said that?
Yeah. I have a girl, and I also know boys that hate their parents.
Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like, just keep that all in mind. Notice, like, you just have to, especially when you're talking to people who are parents, who are maybe pregnant, or who are going through a situation, just know your audience, man. Just, like, read the room.
Or just, I don't know, sometimes count to 10 before you say something.
Yeah.
Just count to 10.
Yeah. Just
maybe I should do that too, but still.
Well, since we're here, I did want to readdress something from last week, because I feel like we sort of did the whole formula shortage thing a disservice.
Oh yeah.
Because we weren't prepared.
It's insane.
So I went through today and did some research and some reading about like
gosh.
what's going on with the formula shortage and what to do kind of thing.
I'm interested in what you came up with. I have to tell you a story.
Tell me a story.
On that. So we are in a size of diapers that is also hard to find right now, which is interesting.
It's like isn't it like the biggest weight range of all diapers?
I think it's the weight range that kids stay in the longest. And that's what my friends told me too. They were like, yeah, it's always hard to find those because of that. Cause you stay in them for like 2 years or something if you need to.
Our kid's going to be grown out of them by next week.
Probably. It's just huge. But so, I placed our grocery order and they couldn't fill the diapers. So I had to go to another grocery store to get them. And the diapers are right next to the formula. And I got the last box of the size they had for us. And there were a mom and a grandma standing looking bewildered at the formula aisle that was literally cleaned out. Like not a single thing on the shelves. And the stock lady was sitting there. They were looking, just stupefied on what to do next. And the lady was just like, we're just not even getting it. Like it's not even coming in. So, my heart just broke because you don't know anybody's situation. I called every one of my girlfriends that was pregnant with me, and I was just like, "Is everybody okay?" And one is just continuing to breastfeed through. One had enough pumped milk stores to make it through to a year until they changed over to cow's milk. We've changed to cow's milk. My other friend changed to cow's milk, so it's like everybody in our immediate circles, thankfully, okay, but it's just awful. Like the mom, the younger mom, she said that was like the 5th store she'd been to, and everybody was cleaned out.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of stores that were limiting how many you could buy, but that doesn't stop mom from showing up with grandma and being like, okay, I'm gonna buy these, you go buy those, and people are always gonna find a way to hoard, and it just sucks because I was even in my research today, like the American Academy of Pediatrics, the AAP, don't suggest buying any more than 2 weeks, like even on a regular basis when there's not a shortage. They're like, you don't want to buy more than 2 weeks worth, just because it all has an expiration date. Like you don't want to have so much that it expires and now nobody gets the benefit from that, right?
Well, we've talked about too where they gave us the wrong kind in one of our grocery orders, and I went to return it, and they were just like, "We're just gonna throw it away, so you can keep it," because they can't resell it either. Like, so if you hoard it, even if you try to take it back before it expires, they can't take it. They can't resell it.
Yeah. So like, because if they were to take it back and put it back on the shelf, and then a kid gets that and is now sick because maybe you didn't store it right. Maybe it just sat in your hot car, right? Yeah. Maybe maybe it was stored at the wrong temperature.
Or God forbid somebody tampered with it.
Somebody tampered with it, man. The history is not, there's the Tylenol killings. Remember all that stuff? Like there is a reason why all that stuff is super sealed, super if the seal is broken, do not use this. All this stuff, and yeah, like. Just hoarding it does nothing, and what's sad is there's likely someone that's buying it to turn around and resell it to desperate people, and it's just like, holy crap, dude, like what do you do? Like so the shortage is still going on. They're working to bring supply from abroad now, like so part of that is bringing in just actual formula, and part of it is just bringing in the raw materials to make formula. So that production can be increased, because when one line gets constrained, it's not just the final product, it's all the things that go into making that product. So the stuff coming in from abroad still has to get FDA checked. So I was watching an interview with I think he was like the head of the not the FDA, but like it was, I don't know, Homeland Readiness or Preparedness, something like that. Xavier Becerra was his name. And he just maybe he was part of the FDA, but he was kind of detailing like the whole Abbott plant shutting down, really was that was a voluntary shutdown.
Yeah.
They weren't forced to shut down. Like the FDA can only do so much, and then they have to see enough And if they want to forcibly shut down a place like that, they have to see enough and have enough evidence to take them to court to shut them down. So the Abbott thing was a complete like, yeah, we'll do an agreement with you guys to shut down because of that bacterial outbreak or whatever. And I didn't know they had that little of access. But he brought up a great point. He's like, we're unfortunately in a situation where there's usually plenty of formula to go around, but there's only 2 or 3 companies that are making the bulk of all this, right? And that's the private market, and this is part of the problem when you don't have anything that's regulated by on a distribution level like that. It's like the private market becomes, they now have a responsibility because people their lives are depending on it. They were talking about in this report, there's kids that have ended up in the hospital because they don't have anything to eat, so they have to go into the hospital to be put on whatever they can be put on to be fed, right? Probably the equivalent of like a feeding tube to be fed. And it's like, he was talking about how there's an enormous responsibility, even though these companies are private. Like there's some weird handshake stuff that like, he's kind of like, this is what you get when everything's privatized like this. And I was thinking about like, wow, like at what point, like, should they, how far does this power go? And like at what point
they've got our babies hostage.
Right.
Like,
and at what point, like how bad does it have to get before the government's like, we got to come in and regulate this? Like, cause you guys are dropping the ball on it. Like something like record profits right now, like anything like that would make me sick. Like hopefully their PR team's like, hey, let's not make any light of any of this.
Yeah.
Cause clearly there's demand for their product and I don't think they are, but we've seen dumber things happen, right? Gas prices go up and all of a sudden like
Shell's making record profits.
They're making tons of profits. So I kind of wanted to do like a what to do, what not to do type of situation because I feel like we presented it poorly last week.
Sorry about that, y'all.
The biggest thing would be kind of what you did today. Network with your community. Reach out to other parents. Make sure they're doing okay. If you're not a parent and you're just like listening to the show, reach out to people that you know that are parents. Hey, what can I do to help? I mean, there's only so much you can do, but help, people, there are people with, having more eyes out there looking at shelves and looking for these things helps out. So networking, even using your social media to reach out to other parental groups. If we were in this situation, I'm sure we'd be talking to people at daycare a little more about it, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea because I know we've got some kids that are younger than our kid.
Most of the kids in her class have switched to milk. So
thankfully they're all reaching that, but we still have like a 1 or 2 that are pretty young, like 1 at least.
I almost just swallowed that cough drop. He's still breastfeeding. So
buy no more than a 2-week supply, as per the AAP. And then something we did talk about last week, ask your doctor for help. Doctors will be able to really, really help you out. They're your best resource because they'll know when it's time to be like, you need to admit your kid. We need to get something better. We need to get something nutrient full in them. And the other thing was being flexible with your brands. So not every kid can have all the formulas that are out there, but many kids can. So don't be like a brand diva. Like if there's something that's there and your kid can have it, do it. I mean, like we jumped back and forth between Similac and Up and Up throughout the baby's entire time with formula. And
I was actually talking to one of my friends when this all started, that was pregnant with me, and she said that they didn't have any shortages at where she was with Target with their brand. So I think that's changed now, but that still may be more easily accessible.
It did for a while. Like when that Abbott plant shut down, they did Similac, and Similac was what we had her on and was not on the shelves at all.
Yeah, we couldn't find it anywhere.
We were almost forced to go to Target, and thankfully she didn't have a problem bodily with it,
Well, and Sam's Club, Costco, like they make their own brands. They're less expensive and comparable completely, and
they have to be.
Yeah, they absolutely have to be. So try
There's
some
no
of those.
shame in that. And you honestly, I can't think of how much money we saved.
Speaking of Sam, speaking of saving money, Your stepsister told me about how much they were saving on diapers from Sam's. So we switch into diapers from Sam's too.
Okay.
And I went to a baby shower not that long ago, and they brought diapers from Sam's, and they were like, "We love this brand. We love this brand so much."
I'm willing to try it.
Yeah. So
you know, my mom goes like every other weekend.
Save us like
we should just tell her
$15 a box.
next time she's in there, just grab us a few boxes and we'll just pay her back.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because she goes all the time.
Yeah, it would save us like $15 a box.
I
I do fully intend to try to start potty training in the next 7 months, but we'll be here for a little while.
The big things not to do that I found was don't water down.
Mm-mm.
Some people think watering down like and trying to stretch your formula, like the nutrients that are there in the servings that that are placed on the packaging are there because that's what keeps your baby alive and healthy. So they were like, please do not water down your stuff. And as we said last week, do not try to make your own because people do that too.
No.
Because you don't have the materials needed to make a 100% nutritional makeup that you need for formula. It may be based partially in cow's milk, but it's not all cow's milk.
Mm-mm.
It's not just like crushing up some vitamins and throwing it in milk. It is a very it's a regulated process as far as having to pass very strict guidelines, and there's a reason for that. So don't try to do that, but see if you can. Honestly, I mean, we had talked about this before. My stepsister, was pregnant at the same time as you. Her kid's only how much younger? 3 months?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. So 6 weeks younger. And where you were having trouble producing, she was not. And she was like, if you guys need anything,
yeah,
reach out.
Like, yeah. And we made it to 9 months on breast milk, but like, she was just like, if you want to keep going, like you can have breast milk, and which is wonderful and super sweet. Like if you are somebody that can help your friends and family out like that, yeah, you are an angel.
Yeah.
Like you're amazing. And keep doing you, man. That's awesome. Like,
yeah, I just wanted to
there are milk banks too.
Mm-hmm.
I would think we did touch on that.
We did touch briefly on it. So if you can look and see if there's milk banks in your area. And that's really it. I just really wanted to circle back around because I feel like editing the podcast last week and listening to it, I was like, we really just kind of glazed over that. We're like, we're not prepared for this. So I was like, you know what? It is a problem, and there are kids that are having to go to the hospital over this stuff. So that should be something that we should circle back to. So that's why we did. But yeah, definitely do what you can to help. And if you can be lax with what brand you're using and stuff like that, then that'll help out a ton as well. But yeah, that was that. Sorry.
There's another area where I can circle back around to the beginning too and be like, vote. Trade deals are the reason we're in this mess and can't dig well, I mean, bacterial infection of a plant is why we're in this mess. But trade deals could have saved our butts, and we don't have them right now.
Yeah, we can't take anything from Canada, all that stuff. So just keep an eye out, keep an eye out for the people you love, and keep an eye out for those that, that you could possibly help. If you happen to be at a store and you're like, holy crap, they've got formula. I know a friend that's got a 6-month-old at home. I need to just give them a quick ring and see if this would help them out. Because you don't know where people are. Like you said, that's heartbreaking to see that, someone actually sitting there just not knowing what to do. How am I going to feed my kid? Because some people just can't produce.
Yeah.
So they have to be on formula.
Mm-hmm.
But anything else we wanted to touch on before we get out of here? You did send a couple of really funny things to our chat. The today I effed up post.
Oh yeah.
Was pretty funny. And I had that pulled up. It says, today I effed up by high-fiving my husband before his vasectomy. You want me to read it, or you want me to do the TLDR?
I'll do the TLDR.
Basically, the day of her husband's vasectomy procedure, she gave him a high five.
They have 3 kids.
She gave him a high five, go get the thing done, right? Do the damn thing, finally. And then she took a pregnancy test a little bit later, and
she was like, hell, I got this last one in here. Why not? Let's take it for fun. Damn thing popped positive.
So now they're welcoming their 4th kid.
Yeah.
Which I thought was Hilarious.
You think it's hilarious what happens to us.
Yeah.
Don't you dare wish that on us.
No, I told you my process. Like, if kid number 2 happens, I'm going to get it as soon as we know that it's nice and healthy.
Just knock on wood. Jeez. Like, you're immortalizing this thing to laugh at ourselves about.
You're so worried about that, putting that stuff out there karmically, aren't you?
Yes.
We talked about it last time.
Because I just get, like, anytime I skirt the rules, man, the stars align to catch me.
Anytime I relax, something slaps me right in the rear.
Let me tell you about that. Yeah, for real. Like, it's
no
always the other shoe dropping.
No relaxation allowed.
No.
But that's a funny little twist of fate. And then there was a life pro tip on Reddit that you put. If you're doing something and a young child asks to help, don't say no or you're too little. Find a way to have them help, even if it's a distraction unrelated to your task, and thank them for helping. This develops positive self-esteem, mindfulness, collaboration, and gratitude.
I liked that one.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. A lot of I went through the comments. There's, as Reddit will do, there are some very twisted and sad things in those comments.
Don't do
but
that.
most of it is people being like, oh yeah, I remember being the kid holding the flashlight for my dad. Like that whole thing. It's like, yeah, you give them some, hold the door. One was like, yeah, just have them hold the door open for me while I'm bringing something in, or just have them do something that's menial that they think is helping. Like, hey, sit right here, and when I need that tool, you hand me that tool. Like, we've all been in that situation.
I mean, and sometimes it's not even menial. Sometimes it's really helpful.
Yeah. Sometimes it's very helpful. You don't have to scoot out from under a car to grab something and go back and, at least.
I think our baby's going to be the dog wrangler. That's going to be her big chore.
Yeah.
And be like, just keep the dogs out of here.
Keep the dogs in this room.
Yeah.
Keep them entertained.
Yeah.
Do not let them out.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she's like a Dennis the Menace type, and then she's like, I'm going to wait until they got their hands full and let the dogs out.
I would be like, oh, look at that. We don't have any dogs anymore. That's
Remember that movie Problem Child?
Yes, I do.
Oh, man. And then, but I was also thinking, like, this isn't to say, because I think a lot of people in the comments confuse them with saying, like, don't ever tell your kid no.
Oh, no.
No, you can't. Like, I know there are people who parent like that. That's not in my wheelhouse.
No, I'm not capable of that. Sorry.
No, I watched you. I heard you yell at your kid the other day.
I straight up yelled. Oh, felt bad. I did feel bad when she told me I lost my cool. I was like, now I feel bad.
Yeah,
and I shouldn't have yelled.
It happens. But yeah, I was like, don't get it twisted that you can't tell your kids no. It's just like, allow them to feel helpful when they can feel helpful, right? You're not like taking something dangerous away from them. They are literally probably being like, can I help you with that? Or can I do this? And you can be like, no, but or you can be like, help me with this instead. So it's definitely not a don't say no ever.
Well, I mean, and we've gotten pretty good at redirecting her when she is into something.
Mm-hmm.
We can be like, ooh, but help mommy with this instead, or help daddy do this instead, or come hold dad. Like, and it's a great redirection too when she's about to do something that could get her hurt or like run with a marker in her mouth. Probably would have been a better redirection moment than a scolding moment. But
right.
Oh well, I'll try again next time.
And this was kind of posted alongside some stuff that you sent that was pretty pertinent to this whole thing, like not telling them no when they want to help you and stuff like that. But it was like 12 Montessori phrases.
Oh yeah, I liked that article.
Yeah, that every parent should know. And I thought this was kind of cool. Like, some of it is, I know that older parents would probably look at this and be like, why are, like, you're just beating around the bush with these kids. You gotta be straight with them. And it's like,
one of her daycare teachers straight up was just like, I used to pick my switches. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to make her pick her switch. Like, I used to laugh.
Yeah.
I used to laugh at switch picking. I was like, haha, yeah, sure. That ain't going to hurt.
That's also a wild level of like mental game.
Yeah.
Like, go pick the thing that I'm going to tan your hide with. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I had a guy I dated in college who was just a smart aleck enough to go pick the biggest limb he could actually drag out of the woods. And I was like, that's the appropriate response to that kind of bull. Oh, almost got there.
Almost did it.
Oh, that's the appropriate response though. I think
I knew some grandparents that would just cut it to length.
No. It was like a log. Like you couldn't pick it up and hit anybody with it.
Lay down. Just hold it over them. Don't actually do it, but just hold it over and be like, all right, you wouldn't
You
pick
ready?
this.
Oh man, you were raised in the 80s. You knew the counter argument for that.
Lay down. Favorite phrases from the classroom to use at home. Explain this real quick. Montessori. That's
I don't know exactly. I think it's just like it's just grassroots, I guess. I'm not even quite sure exactly what it is. It always seems like no frills. Like no frills parenting to me.
define Montessori. I just want to know.
Yeah. I think that's a good.
Montessori, a system of education for young children that seeks to develop natural interests and activities rather than using formal teaching methods.
Well, that's pretty vague, but yeah, that does it.
So it's more of a, hey, what's interesting you today? Okay, well let's work on that kind of thing. I know someone that has their kid in a Montessori school too.
Yeah.
So
We've
and they
got
love
one
it
around here.
They love
Yeah.
it. They absolutely do, and they can be expensive, but they love it. So here are these phrases.
If you go ahead and get that vasectomy, it won't be a problem.
I'll go tomorrow.
No.
I'll go tomorrow. Snip, snap, snip, snap.
Do you know the toll? Thank you, Michael Scott.
Favorite phrases from the classroom to use at home. Number 1, this is not available right now. Some of this feels very condescending customer servicey. This is not available right now.
I mean, it's a child.
Can I help you with something else?
That's why you don't talk to adults that way, because it's like you're talking to them like they're children. You do actually have to talk to children a certain way up to a certain age.
Is it me, or when you read the words that is not available right now, and you imagine saying that to our kid right now, I feel like she would slowly turn her head and just tilt it
Ever so slightly.
Huh.
And just slow blink.
Is that not available right now? Or are you just telling me no?
So you say that, but I think she really does respond well to like even tone, redirection. I think she responds really well, which is why it sucks when like we do lose our temper, or like it's a failing on my part, because
You're really beating yourself up about this.
I'm so quick to react but she was trying to bite me, and it's like one of those where I'm like, forgive yourself, you're fine. But I want to be more like that, where you're like even keeled, like, that's not what we do right now. That's not available right now. Biting is never available.
My arm is not available for you to bite right now.
For you to gnaw on at this moment like a coyote. You get the visual of that?
Yes, I did.
Nice. So, yeah. I feel like she responds really well to language like this, because there's been a couple of other just random Pinterest articles that we've like kept up on and kind of stuck with, and listening to What to Expect While You're Expecting uses like similar language to this a lot of times, with how to redirect those tantrums. I think around 9 months when we were getting them then and stuff like that.
Yeah. This is so they say this is by far one of the most frequently used phrases in our house. I love that it states clear, neutral boundary, and also that it's not permanent.
Yeah.
So toys that are not available at dinner time might be available later. Makes sense. It's not, you're not taking it away and saying, no, you cannot have that, right? You're just saying,
and we do that
right
already. Like when there's like a couple toys that stay on her tray table to entertain her, but when she's eating, they go away. When
we start the bedtime routine, close the door that houses all the books.
She walks in and she sees the library and she just goes books. Or
you'll be sitting there feeding her, and then she just happens to look over and notice that
one is out of place and it's not been put back yet, and she's just like book.
Or I've been sitting there before and I'll be reading to her, and then I'll look at her and see how she looks over at the closet, and I look at the closet and I'm like, we didn't close the door. And she just goes, book. Number 2, I see that. Quote, I see that. Followed by, can be followed by, I wonder why. This is an observational statement that can be used to help tune a child into another person's physical cues. So not being, I guess, dismissive. For example, I see that she is scooting away from you. I wonder why. kind of like maybe you're being mean, or maybe you're
Oh.
biting, or maybe like,
Oh.
why would this person not want to be near you? Number 3, please walk around their body. Maybe not shoving. Do not shove,
Mm-hmm.
Don't push her down. Don't you do that,
Well, and there's something if you scroll down too that they use.
Using the word body is much more clear to a young child than saying him, her, they, them, which are more abstract.
Yeah. So body, they can see a body.
Yeah.
They don't. I think like personhood is still lost. Like other people, like empathy and personhood.
Right. They haven't built
developed
that
yet.
like, oh, that's a person's like, no, that is.
I mean, I know 50 and 60-year-olds that hadn't quite figured that one out yet. So
yeah, just get out on the road every once in a while and drive. Number 4 is weird. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back, please. Sometimes the urge to touch is too strong if hands are free, but putting them behind your back helps give them something to do while they wait.
What was she trying to touch the other day? Was it art?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in the waiting room for the tubes.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
And they had art up on the walls.
Well, in the tub, she does really good with butt on the ground. Butts on the ground, butts on the ground, because she wants to stand up and touch everything. And we say butts on the ground, and she immediately sits down.
Yep.
I think she'll respond really well to hands behind your back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes
please.
sense.
Gotta say please.
Number 5, can I give you a hug? Asking for permission to touch another person is an important lesson to teach. Always respect their decision. If they say no, it is important for the child to learn that they can say how much they would like to be touched. So we talked about this before because we.
I think I phrased this wrong when I talked to her about it, though. I always go, "Can you give mommy a hug?"
Can you? Will you give mommy a hug? I don't know if that works either.
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you. My bad.
Come here, kid. Just give her a hug.
I do that too. Right now, I should probably back off of that, but.
Number 6, are you okay? Is there anything I can do to help you feel better? Yeah, just kind of connecting with them and getting them to communicate. I think the big thing is teaching them to start using their words. I mean, obviously they can't right away, but teaching them little things and just being like, hey, what can we do to help you out? What can we do to get you there? Let's see. Number 7, which part would you like help with? Let's see. I love how this phrase helps isolate the tricky part while encouraging independence. For example, I see that zipping up the coat is feeling frustrating. Which part would you like me to help you with? Makes sense.
I like it.
That makes sense. Let's see. Well, I guess I can just scroll down to this part of the list.
Yeah.
Number 8, where could you look for that? A wonderful response to I can't find my shoes. It encourages critical thinking and independence. I feel like my wife does this to me because I have a terrible time finding things around the house.
That you've lived in for 20 years.
That you've organized, and I don't know where you put things.
That we've lived in together for 10 years.
That you've organized, and I can't figure out where you put things.
I just threw away everything you didn't need. So it's all right here, out in the open. You can find everything. You just have to look for it.
I was going to say, it's all in the trash. You know where to look. Go diving.
I don't touch your stuff when I'm throwing things away.
But that's good, though. Like, it's just... It kind of, especially as because they said that these are phrases for 2 to 6-year-olds, it kind of gets them out of the response of, okay, we're going to bring you what you need every time. Because, like, right now... She doesn't know to go get her shoes, right? Like, she knows to go grab a book easily. Like, there's little things, but it's things that she really, really wants, right?
I mean, these things are going to develop over time for sure. So, building, this is all like kind of build upon, you use your building blocks and build on each other.
Yeah, kind of sure. This is a little advanced for where we're at, but I liked them because they tied into what we talked about. But I mean,
some of these we could start using, like, for sure. Like those at the beginning, hands behind your back, super helpful.
Number 9, you work so hard on that. The phrase focuses on the process, not the final product. It is a wonderful phrase to use instead of good job. More on why to stop saying good job here.
I say good job every other statement to her.
Good job, baby.
So I probably need to look into that.
I love to follow up by asking, what's your favorite part? Or can you tell me about it? So it's more of a focusing on the journey, not the destination kind of type situation. Yeah, the effort involved. How can we solve this problem? We need ideas. This teaches the child that their ideas are valuable and gives them practice in solving a problem. It also helps the child take responsibility for a problem, and it turns out they will become more likely to use the solution they came up with themselves. So much more on this from a wonderful book, How to Talk to Little Kids, How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen. Well,
maybe we need that book.
maybe we do need that book, but that makes sense, right? It kind of makes them, even if they throw out some stupid ideas, they at least feel like,
I feel like you're going to be really encouraging when we get to this stage.
They heard me out, right? What do you mean, encouraging you?
No, to her. Even if you throw out something really stupid.
Like, look, no bad ideas here. No bad ideas.
Except for Dad's. Except for Dad's ideas.
She's like, airplane taco. I'm like,
it's a great idea.
That's the awesome idea, but it's not applicable here. We are trying to tie our shoes. Airplane taco.
That's not available right now.
That is not available right now, but I will look into that because that sounds awesome.
It does sound awesome.
Number 11. Did that surprise you? I like this because it lets a child decide the emotion they felt, but acknowledging that it was surprising. So, yeah, kind of gets them to express, like, rather than you just being the one that's exciting, right? Like,
well, I think it's fear also could play into this. Like, did that surprise you when they're about to be scared? When they maybe bop their head, did that surprise you? Instead of being like, that hurt, they can think about it for a second. Yeah. Those kind of things. I think that's applicable in a lot of different emotional situations is why they bring it up.
Yeah, it kind of ties into number 12 too. How did that make you feel? Instead of assuming why the child is upset and labeling it for them, asking about how they are feeling can help the adult understand their inner thoughts.
Specific to toddlers.
I can see that. That's probably something I won't let you do that while calmly stopping a behavior. This is a favorite phrase that I learned from Janet Lansbury. This is incredibly effective for toddlers who are still learning self-control. So like biting and stuff like that.
Ooh.
I won't let you do that. You could say that to her instead of
I just need to keep
whatever you yelled.
I need to keep my voice much more even keel next time. I'm so frustrated.
I just imagine being in another room and just hearing you say, I won't let you do that. I won't let you do that.
You can do that to me.
Please. You're hurting me.
The bigger she gets, the less funny that is.
Oh, God. I won't let you do that. I'm 13, Mom. I won't let you do that.
I was bigger than my mom by the time I was 8.
Maybe we just take a page out of the Hall & Oates book.
What?
I can't go for that.
Oh, no.
No can do.
No can do.
Yeah. I can't go for that. That sounds great. The Hall & Oates School of Montessori.
No.
Montessori School of Hall & Oates. I would absolutely enroll my kid there.
An example of speaking to a young toddler, put your shoes on compared to an older child where more descriptive language is appropriate. It's time for school. Please put your shoes on so we can go get in the car.
So what? Is it saying to say put your shoes on?
Yeah,
or?
it's just saying short commands help a toddler isolate.
Yeah, because
what needs to be done.
By the time you go, it's time for school. Please go put your shoes. Like they've already checked out. Like book.
I just feel like I've
airplane taco.
I've gotten more and more prepared for like these really simplistic. This is what I need in this moment commands because of you. So I feel like we're good. Sorry, I set up a cheap shot there. I love you.
You got me. But yeah, I thought those were. I'm writing that down. Airplane taco.
That's the title, right?
It's the title.
Yes,
it's the name of the episode. But yeah, I thought those were kind of cool, and I wanted to make sure we got a episode this week. We did record it kind of earlier than normal, but.
We went through some cool stuff, though.
We went through some cool stuff, and we readdressed the formula shortage.
Addressed the ridiculousness that has yet again occurred.
Yeah. So
we're all very fortunate, and there's just no words, and not to try to circle back around to that fully, but
yeah,
our hearts are breaking for everybody in Texas.
It's rough. But we do love all y'all, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed the podcast. And if you get the time, please rate, review, subscribe. If you want to write to us, parentallyunprepared@gmail.com. And if you want to tweet at us, it's at @PUnpreparedPod. You ready for a busy weekend?
Yeah.
I'm ready for a busy weekend.
See what this kid can do.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure she'll do great.
Yeah.
It'll be awesome, and it'll give us some stuff to talk about next week.
Woo!
I'm looking forward to that. Guys, have a wonderful week and weekend. Please be safe out there, and look out for your loved ones. Look out for your fellow parents in these hard times of shortages in formula. All right? What are you laughing at?
You.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm trying to be a sensitive guy.
You're not practiced in it.
I'm pretty good at it.
Oh, what a fade out time. So sensitive.